News at Noon begins now.
Washington drivers could be one step closer to a new pay-by-the-mile system. We have more on the vote today going on in Olympia.
Well, Christmas is now 1 week away, and for those looking to beat the traffic, we'll tell you when to avoid hitting the road.
And it's going to be a tricky forecast starting tomorrow, not just here locally with snow in the forecast, but the Mountain Pass forecast could be hit and miss over the next several days.
Well, thank you so much for being with us here on KREM 2 News at Noon. I'm Jen York.
Hi, everyone. Good to see you. I'm Laura Papetti. We are looking at cool, apparently not cool like I can say it, but cool and cloudy conditions as we head into the afternoon. We have Thomas Patrick in today. He is in for Evan, who is on vacation for the holiday season. Thomas, what can we expect?
Cool. I like the way you say that, Laura. Yes, but you know, in terms of our average weather, this is about where we should be. Yes, cool. It is December after all, but cloudy conditions going to persist for the rest of the day today. That's where we stand. 31 cloudy skies with a very light easterly breeze in Spokane at the moment. There are the clouds pretty much encompassing the entire state. So let's zoom out Doppler radar a little bit and show you our next weather system. It is knocking on the doorstep of the Pacific Northwest. There's that low pressure area slowly sliding its way into the Cascades tonight, arriving for the inland Northwest by tomorrow evening. So I mentioned the Mountain Pass forecast a moment ago. Here's what it looks like today. Actually pretty nice, save for like Stevens Pass late in the day, but over the Cascades come tomorrow. Snoqualmie, Stevens Pass, anywhere between 4 and 9 inches of snow. So the WADA crews are going to have a tough time keeping up with that kind of snowfall. That'll arrive over Lookout Pass about a day later. But here's how the rest of the day shapes up today. Yeah, all cloud icons for the rest of the day, eventually giving way to both snow and rain across our forecast area. I'll be timing that out locally and give you the best estimate as to how much snow to expect in your area coming up in just a few minutes here.
All right, my friend, thank you. Well, AAA expects this Christmas to be the busiest travel holiday ever. So we're talking big numbers.
Yeah, so they started keeping these records starting in 2000. They're expecting it to just be really packed. 115 million people are expected to travel between this Saturday and January 1st. Now, workers say most people will be driving, and AAA predicts the worst delays in most major cities to actually be after Christmas on December 26th. However, for Seattle, where many of our folks will be headed, researchers say the 27th will be the worst.
Yeah, because nobody wants to leave the day after if they don't have to.
Exactly. So if you're heading to the west side to Seattle, the 27th is looking pretty hairy at this point. But researchers suggest hitting the road early to beat the rush, and the afternoons are going to just be across the board bad. Now, for travelers flying, this weekend is expected to be the busiest, but for last-minute trips, they say Christmas Eve is the best time to fly. AAA says top destinations are mainly in warmer climates, with Orlando and Anaheim topping the list.
All right, well, happening today, Washington State transportation leaders are expected to take a final vote on a new pay-by-the-mile system, and this would be replacing the state's gas tax. The commission has studied the idea for years, with more electric vehicles hitting the road. Some lawmakers and the commission says a gas tax will not bring in enough revenue to be able to maintain roads and bridge construction. The commission vote is set to take place shortly in Olympia. Now, if the commission does indeed sign off, the next move is up to the state legislature. More than 600 rallies are planned nationwide today to support the impeachment of President Trump.
Now, these rallies are before a historic vote tomorrow in the House of Representatives. Congress members will vote on 2 articles of impeachment. Hundreds of protesters are expected today at gatherings in Spokane, and there are 2 scheduled events, one at the Foley Federal Building and another along Interstate 90 at South Regal and 2nd Avenue. For more information on those rallies, you can visit KREM.com.
And we are less than 24 hours away from that vote on Capitol Hill. And today, lawmakers are laying the groundwork for a likely trial that would happen in the new year.
The House Rules Committee began the process of hashing out the details for how the full House will consider the 2 articles of impeachment against President Trump tomorrow.
It's unfortunate that we have to be here today, but the actions of the President of the United States make that necessary.
The president is facing 2 charges, abuse of power and obstruction of Congress. Democrats say the president pressured Ukraine to announce an investigation into his political rival Joe Biden and then blocked White House officials from complying with the House inquiry. Republicans call the process a partisan sham.
The Democrats' impeachment inquiry has been flawed and partisan from day one.
The Rules Committee will decide how long the floor debate should last and whether amendments will be allowed. This is the final step before House members, including Democrats in vulnerable swing districts, will go on the record with their vote on impeachment.
What the president did was wrong. I will vote yes.
I will be voting yes on obstruction of Congress.
Minnesota's Colin Peterson is one of at least 2 Democrats expected to vote no.
Well, the president has not committed a crime.
But House Democrats are expected to have enough votes for impeachment, sending the matter to the Senate for a trial. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer wants to call new witnesses. Today, Majority Leader Mitch McConnell weighed in on that request.
He favors live witnesses so strongly this time before the Senate even has articles in hand.
McConnell has said a Senate trial will be the first order of business in the new year. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
All right, it is 12:06 right now. The new year will bring 4 new laws to Washington state.
So starting January 1st, minimum wage will be increasing to $13.50 per hour, and it will make the state's minimum wage $6 higher than the federal minimum. Second, the age to buy tobacco will rise to 21 years old. However, people 18 years old and older can possess the items, meaning they can be purchased legally in other states and brought back to Washington.
And the rules for family leave also will be changing in 2020. Any person who works at least 820 hours a year can receive 12 to 18 of those paid leave to care for 6 family members. Car seat laws will also change. Children will have to remain in a booster seat until they are 13 years old or grow to 4 feet 9 inches tall. So people need to be aware of that because that's a big one.
Absolutely, yeah, and the rear-facing seats too for toddlers until they're 2 in the new year.
Well, you were laughing at me because I kept my daughter in the rear-facing, I think like 4. No, she was older though, and but they advocate as late as you can. So
I just foresee so many fights with 13-year-olds and their parents.
Yeah, in the
if they're not tall enough.
In the booster seat, that might be a tough one.
Yeah. All right, 12:07 now. Well, we are still 1 day away from a huge Gonzaga game, but the hype is already here. Well, everything fans need to know about tomorrow's matchup with the University of North Carolina next.